College football's on fire again, and the winds of change will keep that fire raging for the foreseeable future. Pac-12 mainstays USC and UCLA are on the move to the Big Ten in 2024, and that leaves their Pac-12 brothers and sisters, those 8 remaining members, floating into the Pacific Ocean, wondering if somebody will save them. It appears it's every program for themselves, so don't be surprised. In fact, expect several members to jump ship quickly. What does this seismic news mean? Well, it means more conference realignments is inevitable. I mean, it's coming and it's going to happen very, very quickly and soon. And while all eyes are on the SEC and the Big Ten, let's also consider the other big kids on the block. I mean, one conference that's kind of stuck in neutral is the ACC. College sports has gone national, but that conference on the East Coast remains regional. It's pinned in a corner by that giant that is the SEC because of the geography. Conference can't pilfer their SEC neighbors and expand westward because, well, yeah, no one's leaving the SEC. But let's credit the ACC for one thing. They got a great ironclad grant of rights, which makes it nearly impossible for their 14 teams to leave the conference. Any program that chooses to leave the ACC would have to forfeit its TV rights revenue to the ACC through 2036. A lot of people think that's a non-starter, but guess what? There are loopholes. You could pay that out and maybe pay $50 million, $100 million to leave. Would Florida State or Miami or Virginia Tech or Clemson be willing to do that if they want to join the SEC? Possibly. There's more money to be made there. Meanwhile, the commissioners of the Pac-12 and Big 12 look like scarecrows. Remember Bob Bowlesby, the former Big 12 commissioner, saying that not one of the things that keeps me up at night was one of his teams leaving? Well, a week later, OU and Texas left for the SEC. Remember that last summer, of course? And then you've got George Kliavkoff saying pretty much the same thing, saying he was not concerned about one of his teams leaving for the Big Ten. And then a month later, this news breaks. Whoops. By the way, George Kliavkoff celebrated his 1-year anniversary on the job in the Pac-12. Congratulations. I hope you enjoyed the honeymoon. Where this leaves us, to be quite honest, is actually kind of a clear picture for the future. The SEC and the Big Ten are not done expanding, guys. I mean, not if Kevin Warren and Greg Sankey pick up their phones. I mean, Pac-12 members are open to leave without financial penalty in 2024. And the conference is in a window right now. They're trying to negotiate a TV deal, and good luck with that. That means Colorado, Arizona State, Utah, Oregon, Washington. Those are prime candidates to join a new conference as early as 2024. Big Ten, Big 12, SEC, take your pick. Funny to think, by the way, that the Big 12 was so desperate just 11 months ago that it approached the Pac-12 about a potential merger. Tables have turned. Pac-12 would probably have to go to the Big 12 to save itself should those teams try to leave. And by the way, the Big 12 would probably just laugh in their face. Funny how timing works. The Pac-12 also doesn't have many options for expansion. I mean, they considered expansion last fall and they decided not to. They thought they were good. Yikes. I mean, you got Boise State out there now. I mean, it's a fine football product, but it's not a lucrative media market. What else is there? San Diego State? I mean, San Jose State, Fresno State? Yikes. Meanwhile, the ACC could and it should expand if it can. I mean, its first call should be Notre Dame. But Notre Dame, keep your eye on the Big Ten. It makes more financial sense for them. But then again, if you're Notre Dame, maybe there's more money in just remaining an independent. What does the college football landscape look like when we talk about finances in the future? Also, what's the college football playoff format look like? By the way, because remember, when they were contemplating a 12-team format, Notre Dame was not going to be eligible for a first-round bye in the playoff because it was not part of a conference. Joining the ACC or Big Ten would correct that. But what if they give the college football playoff says, hey, we'll give you a bye anyway, even though you're not part of a conference? We'll see. That'll all be figured out by next May. And I think Notre Dame will figure things out, whether it should be in the Big Ten or the ACC by then as well. And also, this idea of super conferences. I don't think 16 teams get you there. I think it needs to be 20. And I do think the Big Ten and the SEC will get to 20 teams here in the near future. College football has gone national, and it just makes business sense. There's a lot of money to make out there. The Big Ten and the SEC have separated themselves by far. They're going to trump everybody. The Big Ten already is out earning the SEC. They're going to be making $150 million, maybe $200 million per team here in the next 10 years, if not more. And you expand to 20 teams, that's going to happen. The Big Ten has 5 of the top 7 television markets nationally right now. Wow. There's a lot of money to be made there. By the way, the Big Ten in negotiations right now to work out a new TV deal. Kevin Warren is going to keep the Big Ten on top of the SEC. And the SEC needs to probably make some moves now, too. It's going to be so fascinating to watch. Then again, expect the unexpected. I mean, maybe Notre Dame joins the SEC. I mean, who knows? I mean, did you think that we'd be talking about a 42-hour car ride for Rutgers to USC just a week ago? Anything's possible. I mean, as long as it makes dollars and cents.